Okay, this was, an unexpected chapter. I mean, not the contents of the chapter, because, I mean, come on. There was a lot of foreshadowing and setup for that final page, but I'm just quite surprised to see Taizai out on a Saturday, because, I mean, Saturday is probably one of the busiest days of the week for people that are watching anime from, you know, Fall of Anime 2016, but also just everything in general. Even Tokyo Ghoul comes out today, so it's just, like, an already busy day got even busier, and I'm just surprised to see this out right now. But I mean, it's a welcome surprise. I'm all fine with having Taizai on a Saturday, just like something I did not personally expect. So yeah, Taizai chapter came out today, so if you were unaware, and you have yet to read the chapter, stop what you're doing, go read it. It's out now. So, enough with that. This chapter, for the most part, very straightforward. It pretty much lets us know that Balor is going to teach Diane, the previous Fairy King is going to be teaching, you know, King, and that's kind of what it's about. It's like saying, okay, so we're going to teach you and all that, we're going to be, you're putting your guys' lives on the line, you're going to try to, you know, get better, stronger, and we will be your teachers. Diane and King are like, what the fuck, why are you doing this? Aren't you previously the Ten Commandments? Why would you do something like this? And then eventually, you know, Balor and them are saying, like, oh, the reason why is because we were forced kind of to be a part of the Ten Commandments. Like, the situation rose to where we had to be a part of it, and now we are getting a flashback at the end of the chapter, to which will reveal most likely why they decide to switch sides to the Ten Commandments. But before that, though, I gotta say, I'm really glad Nakaba-sensei is going this direction with the training arc, because normally when you see a training arc, it's very predictable. It's something that overall is just the standard stuff. I mean, character tries to get stronger, that's about it. But the direction that this training arc is going is something that really has me interested, because it's also going to be giving us plot information, some background information, and also training for our two characters that are relatively not as strong as the other 7 deadly sins. So this is a very good arc. Nakaba-sensei is not wasting time with what he has with this arc, especially with the possibilities of different information we can gather from Balor and the previous Fairy King. So let's talk about the flashback. So, King and Diane, they're sent back into the past somehow. They're reliving in Balor and the previous Fairy King's life. They're actually in their body, and they're reliving a memory. Now, we don't know exactly to the extent of how they can relive this flashback. We don't know if they could change things with this flashback or whatever it is, but whatever the case may be, they're going to learn how to probably be the proper representation of a Fairy King and also a giant Queen/King, how to be the leader of your race. And so this is what the flashback is about, but also revealing information about some of our characters. For instance, Elizabeth. So, everyone's biggest surprise is the final panel of the chapter. Personally, I'm not surprised that Elizabeth is a goddess. I'm not. I mean, it's already been implied multiple times throughout the series. I made videos about this, Fury videos constantly throughout my journey of Taizai. It's not something I did not see coming. However, I will say, I am quite happy with the design of Elizabeth. The design of Elizabeth, the goddess wings, both eyes showing, just everything about her design. It's simplistic, but it's still a great design. I love the design Nakaba-sensei took for Elizabeth in the final panel. I just love those angel wings. It's something about angel wings that really just looks so majestic. And when you see something like that, you're like, yo, that's really nice. That's a really good design. So maybe this is implying this is what Elizabeth will eventually look like if she continues to get stronger and use her powers, her goddess-like powers. She will be able to get to this level and probably display wings, which I'd be very glad to see. I'd love to see something like that, just to see Elizabeth like flying around and having wings, being able to actually be like a goddess. That'd be epic. But, let's talk about this, okay? So, many right now are shocked about this chapter for one big reason, because of Elizabeth being a goddess, and also this not being Liz, which was something to kind of be expected if you really take in how long it's been since the reincarnation stuff has been happening with Elizabeth. I mean, it's been 3,000 years. It's been implied that Elizabeth is the entire reason why Meliodas decided to, you know, leave the demon clan and join, you know, the humans and help out Elizabeth and all that. It's been implied that it was thanks to Elizabeth being a part of the goddess clan as to why Meliodas changed in the first place. And he's constantly been, raising Elizabeth, watching over her as a lover, and, trying to make her fall in love with him once again. And this was a constantly repeated thing over many, many generations and eras throughout, 3,000 years. He was constantly watching over her and making sure she was fine. And so, this is a very tragic romance if you really think about it. It's kind of creepy, but it's very sad because of how much he truly loves Elizabeth, and he's been seeing her grow, and then eventually grow old, and then die, and then repeat the entire process. He's been just trying to watch over her. And so we do know that there's multiple Elizabeths in the past that's, constantly, been born, grown up, and then died, been born, grown up, and died. We know about this. We know about Liz, and we know about Elizabeth, but we don't know exactly how many were before that. We don't know how many were before that, before Meliodas met Elizabeth, and eventually, she started reincarnating over and over. And so we get to see what I'm assuming is probably the first Elizabeth amongst their group. I'm assuming so, because, the goddess wings to the way her frame looks and all that, I'm assuming this is traditionally how the first Elizabeth was. This is the first one, and because, they're going to war right now, because of the place where, the giant, the king of the giants is, the king of the fairies is, I'm assuming that they're going to war against the demon clan, and we're gonna get to see, some information about what probably happened, what led to Meliodas being, cursed and all that, constantly coming back, or also just seeing, how Balor and also the previous fairy king joined the demon clan and helped them out. So this arc is going to be very important, but also it's going to reveal more about Elizabeth and who she probably really is. So I can't wait to see where Nakaba Sensei is going to take that. But overall, though, the chapter is very straightforward and very simple. It's in some ways predictable, but at the same time, it opens up a lot of possibilities for the writing, because Nakaba Sensei has many paths now he can choose from, and choose which direction he wants to go with this story. Does he want to focus more on the training aspect right now? Does he want to focus more on the plot, the background, characterization? There's a lot of directions he can take right now, so I can't wait to see what direction he takes and what he focuses on the most throughout this arc. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.